Now, Idong Joseph is currently on standby to bring us up to date with the development from the Senate. What exactly triggered the walkout of the opposition party members, Idong?
Well, good afternoon, blessings. Well, I'll draw your attention to the fact that the walkout that was staged was in the House of Representatives. And regarding what triggered that walkout was the disagreement between lawmakers and the presiding officers regarding clause 60 sub 3 of the Electoral Amendment Act. Of course, we understand that in December last year, on the precisely 23rd of December last year, the House of Representatives had passed the Electoral Amendment Act. That's very close. Of the one that was passed was stipulated that electronic transmission of results from the polling unit should be carried out in real time. But unfortunately, yesterday we saw a different scenario where lawmakers convened. They first told us that they were going to have an emergency session regarding the timetable, which INEC released. And when they came yesterday, they called for the to rescind their decision in passing the Electoral Amendment Act bill in 2025. And when lawmakers were not aligning to that's very close, because the new clause now, what was added to it was that both the electronic and manual transmission of election results should be carried out. And so majority of opposition lawmakers were against that and saying that no, that will tamper with election transparency, and they were against it. And the speaker of the deputy speaker of the House, who presided over the committee of the whole where this consideration was being carried out, had to call for a division of the House, and which was a division vote. And those in support of this, he said that they should move to his right-hand side, and those against it should move to his left-hand side. And those from the opposition party moved to the left-hand side. And they were not, their numbers were not enough to win this vote, and they got angry and walked out of the plenary session and chanting songs accusing the ruling APC and calling members of the party names. So that was actually in the House of Representatives, where opposition party members walked out.
What happens next in the legislative process?
For now, that has been passed. We hope that they will resume next week, because from the committee of the whole, they need to resolve back to the plenary session, and which they did. And next week, that bill, which was rescinded, will be passed for third reading. And of course, we could recall that sometime last week, the House of Representatives and the Senate had constituted an harmonization committee, which is the conference committee, to harmonize the version of the Electoral Amendment Act the House of Representatives has, and the Senate, the one the Senate has, to look at each of the clause by clause and come up with a clean copy that will be transmitted. So by next week, we were hoping that when they resume on the 24th, they will pass this Electoral Amendment bill for the third reading, and then the Harmonization Committee will also present its report. So those are the next legislative process before it will be transmitted to the President for his assent, which is the final stage of lawmaking.
All right, Idong Joseph there on the update from the Senate on the Electoral Act amendment. Thank you for the update.